Player One is a movie like Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate
Huh?
Factory, a film that comes
Wow,
along
that's
not only
that
both a
okay.
What? Let's start with dtmerch.com. You know to go to dtmerch.com. We got all the shirts that you recognize, the mainstays like the black cotton tee with the white logo, the black cotton tee with the colored logo right there. Backpacks. We got phone covers, jerseys. That's the shirt that she calls Hosted and Toasted. That features everybody who is currently on doubletoasted.com in this nice composition right here. And that is going to be the featured artist of the month shirt. If you like Deja Lenners, who goes by Deja Doodles work, then check her out on Instagram. You can type in Deja Doodles and you see all of her work and caricatures over there. And now all you need to do is become a subscriber. You can do that in many ways with many modes of payment. But what I would do is I would use your Amazon account, and it's just a plain account, not like the Prime account or anything. Use the Amazon Pay button. Put those two things together after you enter your username and password. And when you press that send button, ooh, Billy, shit. Billy, don't touch me, Billy. Shit. It's that toasty goodness all over my body right now. And we will be in Chicago, and that is June 30th at Park West, and the doors open at 7. Show starts at 8, and that is the last weekend of June. And the show is full of live comedy, games. We have the music, and after that, we have the big party. Some people say, man, I ain't got 3 hours like y'all do. All right, I'm busy. Well, that's where this app comes in. You go in there on your iPhone or your Android, you press this button here. You got 30 seconds to give your opinion, whether you want to gush about a movie or you want to warn people how bad something is. They even got a star rating there. And when it's done, press send, and it's out there shared with the world. And everybody is talking about how great you are and how much you know about cinema and television. And one more time, that link is stardust.app.link/double toasted. Stardust.app.link/double toasted. All right, let's go ahead and get into our reactions here for the #1 movie this weekend at the box office, which is, you probably saw it out there, Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One.
You can do anything, be anyone, without going anywhere at all.
I'm glad you're sitting here, Sammy, because I really like the movie, and I get that Easter eggs can be annoying to people, but I knew going in what this was and appreciate it for that. You liked it less than I did.
I did like it less than you did. I enjoyed it as a movie, but it just seemed kind of basic without, if you take out all those references.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt about it. I mean, I understood a lot of them. I know my whole shtick here is that I don't see shit, but I understood a lot of what was going on, but even then I was like, okay, this could be, there could be something else maybe, a little bit more to it. But a lot of people on Stardust had different reactions to it based along those lines. You know?
All right, then, as you see, different reactions here from us, but the reactions that are important are yours. So let's go ahead and start with my man right here. Love the name, the Jay Shrayway. And he's tagged us here at Double Toasted, and looks like he's loving the movie, gave it 4 stars out of 5. Let's see why.
Man, so I just turned 21 at midnight, and fuck, this movie makes me never want to grow up. It's really hard to put into words what I just watched, but I gotta say, the action in this, only Spielberg could pull it off. It's so fast-paced, so visceral. A lot of people's main glaring complaints is that the real-world stuff slows down the pace of the movie. I have to disagree. It wasn't too bad to watch, and there's not a lot of it either. The one thing I would say, don't see this with a girl, because I feel like the raging nerd culture going on the screen is a little intense.
I like the way he's nerding out in front of a Harley Davidson.
Right? Like Andrew Garfield haircut and shit.
Like that's going to make him look tougher as he's geeking out right now.
Yeah, don't take a girl to go see this. What?
Hey, don't worry, brother. not 10 bitches like I did.
I just turned 21. I'm so old now. I'm so mature. And muscles. And
nah, hey, man, we messing with you. We messing with you. But see, that's what people are saying. That's why I understood where this movie was coming from and was able to accept it for what it is, because it is a very nerdy film. So you can't blame people for not liking it. I mean, not even like saying, I thought it was okay. If people don't like it, you can't even blame them.
Right, and I feel kind of weird because he is so young, relatively speaking, and all these references are way before his time. So
he's 21?
That's what he just said. He turned 21 on his today or whatever. And so the fact that he's able to have nostalgia about a lot of these things that are happening in the movie that are almost 15 years, 20 years before he was born. It's really interesting to me, you know,
Well,
that he excited it so much, you know.
That's a good point, because that's what I was telling you. I mean, the big thing that people were debating over, how are people going to like it who were born way after a lot of these references?
Right.
And a lot of people, I think, will enjoy it because it's going to make them want to go back and find the sources of these references. But that might not be everybody. Awesome Ant 21. I think we've heard from this man before.
Get past a love story that's kind of rushed, some lackluster characters, and some conveniences to the plot that you can roll your eyes at. This is an awesome movie. If you're a geek, if you love nostalgia, if you play video games, there will be so much for you to look forward to in this movie. Your eyes will be scanning the entire screen looking for things, and you'll want to see this over and over again just to catch things that you missed. The action is amazing. The CGI is amazing. This is overall an awesome film, and I definitely recommend it.
He put a soundtrack on his reaction.
and his eyes are scanning everywhere but the camera. I think he's still looking for references outside of his review. He's like, yeah, there's things over here, and it's going to be so awesome. Like, focus up, man.
Like, he walked out the movie still seeing the Easter eggs. That's Cuban. No!
No, it's a pigeon, dude. Come on. Not everything's a reference. Not everything is a reference. And that's kind of, his review was kind of what I was worried about, was that it was just like, yeah, the plot and the characters and all this other stuff that is, that matters to a good movie. Forget all that. There's so many references. And so that's why he made the cut for, my cutoff, because it was the reaction that I was expecting from a lot of people was, forget all that storytelling elements. Let's see what I've already seen before. And that's what I was kind of worried about with this.
Yeah, but he mentioned it. Like what I said is like, hey, I know that I brought up that he made a good point by saying the love story is weak. That love story is horrible.
Yeah.
Mikhail AQ95.
Here, you do it.
No,
You do
I'm
it.
getting off.
You're getting
I'm
off?
getting off.
Why are you getting off?
Because you're recording me. Stop.
She liked the movie though. I didn't. That's okay. Don't go see the movie. It's alright. No, don't do it. Save yourself $10. You know? It's pretty. It's fun to watch.
Think as a gamer.
Here for character development and plot? Nah, man, nah.
Disassociate from the
Nah,
plot.
man.
Think as a
Just
gamer.
skip it. It's alright. It's pretty.
I like the way his wife is like, he's a fucking nerd.
Disassociated from the book. and that's what I like about. That's why I put this one in, because that's what Stardust does. Like it's not only is it spontaneous, but apparently it starts fights between couples, and it's hilarious. Yeah. And I want to watch that.
Yeah,
I want
had
more
that
of
fight with my wife
about movies.
About dinner. Oh. About anything.
But now you can
cooking sucks. Fuck you.
Think about it if you're from the Middle East.
I'll kill you, baby.
Also,
I gotta tell you, I've seen so much amateur porn that it started out like this. At the beginning, that turned me on, man.
You're taping me. Don't do that. Oh well, if you are.
But
he's enjoying it over there.
Oh yeah. Up. He knows, and he's seen porn like that too, right?
He's like, that's my favorite type. Please don't submit porn to Stardust. I don't think they'll like that.
I think they'll filter that out. Really, if you've seen this, it's like, no, seriously, I'll give you $20. But yeah, you know what? But there is this. I know this is done in a cute and jokey way, and we know these guys right here, and they are very, very cool people. Mm-hmm. But it does show the divide with certain audiences out there. It's still this thing where we see a lot of. You tell me how you feel about this. We see a lot of geek girls out there, a lot of nerd girls, a lot of girls that love comics, games, video games, and and geek movies, superhero movies. But it's still, when it comes to the couples, the girl is always the one getting angry about this.
I guess. Well, I mean, maybe that first guy was right. Maybe don't take a girl to go see this movie, because I mean, it's kind of like it's a part of everyone's culture now, and so it's how you kind of perceive things. She was saying remove it from the book, so is that implying that he was a fan of the book and was trying to take it as an adaptation?
Was she into the book?
She liked it. No, he was into book, and she was only into the movie. She was saying think of it as kind of like a gamer person as opposed to someone who has read the book.
Now, the Corey around here, we got this one ain't too good. He's not part of the club. He's Corey with a C. That's that second grade Corey right there. Corey D. Rudolph. Let's go ahead and hear what he had. Another 4-star review out of 5. Let's hear what he has to say.
So this did not stick to the book too well. I think it's better off that it didn't. I just wish, though, it was more of a challenge for them to find the keys than it was in the movie. Because in the book, they made it really challenging for them finding the keys. But still, this movie caught the spirit of the book very, very well. And the references, I mean, there's so many references. I just cannot process it in one viewing. I'm going to have to see it again. I loved it. And yeah, this movie's a full price for me.
Is he trying to show his cleavage? Why does he have it this high?
That's the classic MySpace angle. You don't know that?
Yeah,
you gotta
I know.
hold it high and you gotta put your boobs together. That's what you gotta do. He's not doing a good job showing the boobs part, but
again, this is something that I like here with Stardust. There are people who love movies, and even though it seems like they're geeking out, they're still going in and saying, all right, I got 30 seconds. Maybe with a trailer, I'll really geek out. But with a movie, they're being fair.
Yeah, they're trying to be fair and balanced. And like that was the exact one I was bringing up before about people comparing it to the book. And some people would even disagree with the point he made in terms of liking it, was that he said, oh, I wanted it to be a little bit harder for the keys, to find the keys. But some people might be like, no, that's why I like this more, because they made it a little more simple, made a little bit more sense, because you can't condense all of that into, a 3-hour movie or 2-hour movie. So.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who, like me, thought that this was not going to be something that would even be cleared, like just from the copyright angle to put out there. So the fact that they did it is amazing. Yeah. This is a very prestigious name here, the Fairbank 95. Oh,
yeah,
1 star.
He's spicy about this one.
Oh, now this is what I'm looking for here. We are expecting people to geek out over this. I want to hear from the people who hate this.
This truly is one of the most aggressively aggravating experiences I've had watching a movie in a long time. It uses these pop culture references as this window dressing to cover up the fact that they just told the cocktail napkin version of every sci-fi story that you've already seen. It's almost like you're going through a guided tour of Ernest Cline's DVD collection, but you've already seen all the movies. Skip it.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't want to take umbrage at some of these people, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. You know what you're going in for. When he said this is like a movie version of Ernie Cline's DVD collection,
right?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
That's the author of the book, right?
Yeah, that's the author of the book.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It didn't make me aggressively mad like it did for him, but I kind of understand that point. I mean, no spoilers, but there's a whole reference. There's a whole scene that plays out from another reference point, and I didn't see that first initial reference, so I was completely lost. When talking to people, that was their favorite part of the movie.
Well, we got Chicago John. Now we're getting back on
classic.
Track. We got people who get it. And by the way, we know Chicago John, one of our favorite toasties here. And
should be here next month.
Should be here next month. He's moving here?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's hear his reaction, his 4 out of 5 star reaction to the movie.
This movie is a new Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I mean, it tells the kids how to be themselves and be out there and get out and do things in the world. Go see this movie. It's fun. The special effects is awesome. The venture is pretty cool. Just seeing everything. I didn't feel bombarded with all the, like, oh, you know this guy. Oh, you know this. Oh, this in your childhood. I didn't get any of that. So go see this movie. I enjoyed it 100%.
You know what? Knowing Chicago John, that's probably not even his car. This guy, he's just so happy and spontaneous. He'll just jump in your car and just be your friend all of a sudden. Yeah. He's probably sitting on the driver right now.
I like how he did the bust around, like, ooh, check.
Oh my God! But yeah, you know what? By knowing John, this movie was meant for people like him.
Right, early 30s or mid to 30s, and guys who really love this stuff, that grew up with this stuff. And he was extremely excited about it in this, kind of describing it. And so I know that that's the feeling for a lot of people, that people are going to think that this is the new Willy Wonka because, like you said, it teaches you how to be yourself, and even there's like some identity things going on in there in the movie itself, as avatars and anonymity going on. So I mean, he's absolutely right when in certain ways about it being kind of something about learning who you are inside. So
Bob Blob, now I'm interested to hear this. This is not 1 star. This is not 4 stars. This is 3 stars.
Cedric.
Does that make it different? What's that?
Cedric. The guy he's on the side a lot.
Oh, nice. Does that rating make a difference from some of the things that we've heard already? Well, let's listen and watch.
If I was to grade this movie on the 3rd act alone, I'd say this is my favorite movie of the year. Had all kinds of nerdgasms in the movie theater, all that jazz, everything you wanted, seeing your favorite characters do awesome stuff. Unfortunately, the first 2 acts are pretty hit or miss. I didn't buy into the main romance. I did like the James Holiday story because he's just as awkward to talking to women as I am. But overall, I think most people will like this film. I liked it. I didn't love it. wish I did. But I say go see it.
You know what? He looked like he just knocked somebody out just standing over there. I recommend go see this movie. All right, man. Shit.
Yeah, he's got to square it up in like this weird ass lighting too. Like, say something, punk. Say, look at that face. Look at that face.
Yeah.
He's from Chicago too. You know he's fucked up somebody. So.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. He's like, oh, I can't talk to girls. He's fucked up a lot of people.
Yeah.
just to survive.
He just shot somebody looking down at them. Like the last words you've heard is his reaction.
With the Batman beanie on.
But that sounds about fair. You know, he's that guy that I think was the consensus from a lot of people here. I think I'm the one that loved it the most, which is, listen, it's nothing that I love, but a lot of people do, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, and even then, like I said, I didn't like it necessarily, but I didn't hate it, and I still enjoyed it. I still had a good time.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it what may not have been for me, but what I'm seeing on the screen is still enjoyable. It's competently made, obviously,
But
and it looks good.
I would say that even with me liking the movie more than anybody else, I think that is the best assessment of it, that it's not a great movie.
Right.
But it's a lot of fun. I don't think it's a waste of time. This is Hunter Movie Bin.
So I just got done seeing Ready Player One, and I had so much fun. Steven Spielberg has done such an amazing job bringing the Oasis to life, and has just done a great job making this movie. I loved every single second of it. I had so much fun looking for details. I love the story. I love the characters. There are a couple points where it does drag a little bit when they enter the real world, but overall this movie is a blast, and anyone who sees it will have such a good time.
He makes a good point by saying that there are people, he said he liked to do the work. And that's in contrast to the people who said, man, I don't feel like having to go in and look for all this stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, there's people, the monkey with the gun, Julian Hemmendinger, he goes, yeah, I went 3 times just to find a certain reference. He goes, yeah, I did see that thing. So people are going in and playing this like a game almost.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what obscure characters are just hidden in the deep background.
But then some people like, I go to a movie to watch a movie, not to do work.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And even then, the way they kind of color grade a lot of the scenes, there's a lot of purple and teal and all this stuff, and it's really hard to make out a lot of the form. So you can't really tell exactly what it is until you take it home on Blu-ray or HD DVD or whatever the hell you got and go frame by frame and try to find everything.
Yeah. All right, here's our last one. We finally made it, and this is from Reviewing Network.
Ready Player One is a movie like Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate
Huh?
Factory, a film that comes
Wow,
along that's not only
that okay.
What? All I hear. Like he's trying to cough up his reaction right now.
He's breathless. He's without words. He's trying to make words. And
Really?
I heard it on the speakers, and there's wind in the background, but for some reason on these speakers, the audio just is gone.
and technical achievement, but just an overall fun adventure film. I had a lot of fun watching this movie. This is probably the most fun I've had watching a Steven Spielberg movie he's directed since Munich. This is definitely worth checking out, and watch for a lot of the pop culture references in this. Really good film.
So what he said was, like Willy Wonka, this is a technical achievement, and it's also a great adventure story, and this is the best Spielberg movie since Munich, to his opinion.
Thank you for translating.
Yeah, I could read lips.
That was really, everybody makes this comparison. I try to stay away from it, but that was some real Charlie Brown shit. I like everybody at the same time, just sound like we were like all like just kind of just mentally challenged. And
it's like, no, I want it. And the funny thing,
bunch of penguins in here.
And the thing about Star that I like about it is that people don't have a consistent way to hold the camera. Either it's really low, really high, or way too close. There's no, I mean, like he's really low, kind of looking down, like looking like Kingpin and shit.
It's either people like knocked you out looking down at you, they got you like Thanos and got you held up in the air, you know.
Selfies, you know.
Yeah,
it's no, but to that credit, do you think Spielberg is finally getting back into form in terms of his more recent movies? Obviously, legend, of course. You know, he's got legendary status, but do you think he's going to get back to making more classics?
We'll see, man, because if this movie does not do the money that people anticipated this to, because, I mean, one thing I can finally say before we wrap up here, this is an indicator of, have we moved on? Is that age of Spielberg an age long past? I mean, a legendary age and an age that, you know, a lot of people hold dear, but have we really moved on to something new now? Because with a lot of these references here and a lot of stuff that's being talked about with Spielberg references and properties, 20 years ago, that would have been something that would have been huge.
Right.
But today it's kind of like, all right, you know, that's cool, but that's Okay, that's a big deal.
Well, like I
You
mentioned
know?
before, internet killed nostalgia anyway. At least for people that are my age, because we were still old enough to remember the things by when we were young, under 10 or 11. We were able to remember those things. Then the internet came and was able to archive those things, and so we've had an archive of everything from the age of 10 on.
Yeah,
So
I don't think that this is going to bring Spielberg back in to be that Spielberg that was a long time ago. Because Spielberg would tell you, I'm not that Spielberg anymore.
Right.
This was cool because this was my playground. But you know, I've moved on, and you know, and I think it's almost like this is sort of a love letter. And like you said, yeah, send off. This was kind of a farewell letter to the fans that cherished that time. And he's like, not only have I moved on, but I've given you this last thing. You guys should probably move on too.
And they won't.
And they won't.
And they will
No.
remember these things forever. And buy posters and buy Akira toys and buy all these things.
Well, let's hope that you remember to tag us on I was trying to say Double Toasted on Stardust here, and really get the app through us. No, stardust.app.link/double toasted. Once more, stardust.app.link/double toasted. Get that for your iPhone, get that for your Android, and while you're there, tag us at Double Toasted.